Hi guys, I'm back up here with another message for the collective. Remember, all messages are not for all, they're for some. Take what you need and leave the rest, as well as we got that slot open for personal readings. If you feel guided or interested in purchasing one of those, you know what to do. DM me. We can get you set up. Come fuck with your girl, okay? As well as drop a comment down below. Love to hear from you guys. It's going to start the discussion, as well as it's going to share these vids, man, so we can get on one accord, okay? All right, so I got a channel message for you guys. No cards, no face, just words, okay? So listen to me, okay? All right, so the message has to do with one of my favorite, excuse the noise, one of my favorite inspirational speakers, what I would call personal mentors, even though he don't know he's a mentor of me, but hey, that's here or there. Anywho, back to the message. He's a mentor, someone who's helped me on my journey personally, okay? His name's David Goggins, right? David Goggins. And one of his speeches, don't know what it was or the name of it is called, but there's a particular phrase he said in there that really resonated with me deeply to my core. And I might butcher it. I'm just paraphrasing, okay? In so many words, what he said was, you have to create that version of you. You have to create it. And what I mean by that, think about when you step on a journey and when you want to change your life the way that you want to change your life. You don't have the proper tools. Like what I'm saying is you're not given everything at once on how to create that, I don't know, J 5.0 or that Sarah 5.0 or that Tom Nathaniel. I'm hearing Nathaniel. Maybe somebody's name's Nathaniel. I don't know. They're making it stand out here. But anywho, whoever your name, your 5.0 version of yourself, you have to create that, okay? You have to make that energy. You have to pull that energy from the ether. So that being said, in a way, all you got is two sticks to rub together to make a fire, right? You have to create that energy. You have to create that drive within yourself, especially when you're in an environment that don't reflect that drive that you're seeking, right? God or the Most High or whoever you believe, it doesn't matter what you go for. You know, my slogan here and my stilo, right? It shows you that you can create that power within yourself from out of thin fucking air. You don't need a person to tell you. You don't need a thing or a job or a circumstance or a situation to get you motivated. You can reach deep within yourself. And how do we do that? Through pain and suffering and humiliation. That is what creates that drive. That is what creates that push. That is what creates that internal change within you. Not being in the light, not being comfortable, not being, what's the word I'm looking for? Not being or refusing to avoid to be combative. Let's say it more like that. That's what I'm looking for. Not being a rebel, right? This shit doesn't help you, right? You pushing through your limits despite that the shit hurts or the shit is uncomfortable. That is what creates and pulls that energy from the ethers, pulls that energy back to earth, that pulls that down here, right? And sometimes to even pull that down here, you have to create that within yourself. There's no physical evidence, especially starting out with something, to just give you that energy. Sometimes you just got to make it. You have to create it, right? So with that type of energy, what you have to do is see the vision you want to see, right? See the vision you want to see here, right? And to move in that vision, even though you don't know what that vision feels like, tastes like, sounds like, or touched it. And in the process of walking that path, it can feel like you're going through delusion. It can feel like you're going through, you're lying to yourself. It can feel like this shit ain't working. Because quote unquote circumstances are getting worse. Challenges are getting harder. right? But back at the beginning of what we said here, you create your 5.0 version of yourself through suffering, through failure, through pain. There's nothing sweet about the journey of discovering who you are. There's nothing sweet about it. I love to think about the journey with self and understanding with self like nature, bro. Nature is so beautiful. I swear to God, when you see it, you just see the hand of God for real. But you don't understand that nature also has the ability to take fucking life, take it away, fucking crash down fucking nations and cities and literally take away people's fucking homes and shit, right? That's the dark side of nature. That's the dark side of dealing with God's creation. So that being said, when you see, just using myself as an example, as walking in duality is the true way for self-fulfillment, understanding that you are a light being. You are of a child, if you resonate with the child of God. But also, you also chill with them demons. You do that shit. That shit is within you. The more that you push that down, is pushing you further away from who you are. From who you are. Learning how to befriend both sides of yourself. Understanding, bringing both of these sides to yourself. Your destruction, your shadow, all of this up for examination with your light self. And everybody sits down in the courtroom and plead their cases. You are the fucking judge. And we know what the judge's emotions, feelings, opinions, all is out the door if it's done the right way. It's truly here to hear both sides with evidence and make a verdict, right? This is that energy. And a lot of us stunt our growth because we don't understand that we are the judges of our lives. And then when the shadow comes to plead a case, you get emotional about it. There's an emotional response. Damn, Mercury retrograde is fucking with my speech here, but get the message. An emotional response. You always got to do an action instead of being still. Just listen. Some people can't control themselves. Very impulsive when something comes up to your doorstep. Like I tell you guys, your shadow is what's going to get you closer to the best version of yourself. You want to be the 5.0 version of yourself? It requires sacrifice. It requires discipline. It requires getting dirty, getting in the mud and wrestling with yourself. Wrestling with yourself. And I don't mean wrestling with yourself to overconquer yourself or anything like that. It's just getting a true understanding of yourself. Because what's going to happen, because of that shadow hasn't been heard, because we've been fucking suppressing things down, we've been pushing it real deep down within our subconscious and deep down in our life, like we don't see shit. Would you think that motherfucker going to come up happy-go-lucky? No, it's coming with a vengeance, bro. It's coming with a vengeance. And what you need to do is learn how to be patient with yourself when that goes through its transition. When your inner self, when your shadow becomes haywire, when your shadow becomes uncontrolled, when your shadow starts to throw a tantrum, that is your moment to make space to allow that energy to transmute. Allow that energy to calm down. To allow that energy to voice its opinion, to voice itself, to show up as itself, to be seen. To be seen. And a lot of us wonder why our lives are not, we're miserable in our fucking lives. Trying to go by the rules of what society says, what fucking religion says, what all these different things tell you what the fuck to do. Stay in the light because God sees you in the light. And you wonder why, when the lights are shut out on you, you don't know what to do in the dark. Hence, you self-destruct on yourself, right? And I'm talking to those who's willing to do that, right? Because you always have a choice in life. You always have a choice in life to either self-destruct, or when your back's against the wall, get busy, tap into fight or flight mode. You're either going to flight, run, or you're going to fight your way out of a situation. You're going to speak your way out of a situation, right? But sometimes when it comes to our breakthroughs, and when it comes to our, major turning points, major events in our lives, we never give ourselves enough time to allow that breakthrough to really, build up. Like Lil Wayne said, I believe there's a song called Let the Beat Build, Let the Beat Build, right? That's your life. That's the obstacles, because you do a lot of critical thinking and problem solving when it comes to life. That's all life is a series of problems that you're learning to solve. And most of us don't take the time to actually learn the knowledge, to actually learn the information that's being told to us before we're tested. And you know what God's given me? Thank you. Giving me this illusion. Think about when, you're in, high school or college, when you start doing algebra, right? If you think about algebra and how it works, or any type of math class, so let's really be honest, doesn't matter, just algebra is coming to my mind here, is think about when you first learn algebra, or when you first learn a subject in math, or when you first start learning how to solve for X, let's say that, right? While you're going through that process of your teacher or your instructor showing you the formulas, the different ways to solve for X, eventually you're tested with that at the end, right? So that's where homework comes in between, to sharpen that skill, right? And a lot of us, right? And I know I'm not the only one. I'm gonna be honest. I'm out of college now, right? When going through algebra, I would just get the answers from behind the book, right? Especially when you have homework and stuff like that. And then put those down on the homework sheet and turn it in. And the next thing you know, when it's test time, you're not ready for test time. You're like, fuck, 2 days in, 2 days before the fucking test, over the weekend before the test on Monday, you're not fucking ready because you've been in an energy of slacking the fuck off. Hence, getting the answers from behind the book. Instead of being taught or learning the formula, memorizing the formula, practicing the formula to solve for X. Now you don't know how to solve for X, and now you're scrambling to learn how to solve for X on Friday when the test is on fucking Monday. Right? This is that energy, man. When you got opportunities to meet obstacles or hardship faced on, because a lot of these obstacles and challenges, right, before they become big and explosive, right, they start real subtle where you don't catch them, right? Hence, when they're settled, that's when you address those and you practice those ways, and you practice utilizing those formulas to quote unquote solve for X when they're small, right? Because regardless, right, I feel like my speech is everywhere because there's a lot of energy here. While you're learning how to solve for X, it ain't going to stop you from having that test. You're going to always have that test. Hence, when the shit blows up in your face. But the difference between you or, I don't want to say you guys. Fuck that. No, we're going to be very transparent and raw and very direct, because pain and humiliation is what helps you, right? You reading the back of the book in the midst of that building stage to the test, and someone else who actually took the time to learn how to solve for X, who actually took the time to memorize and understand the formula to solve for X, right? Because guess what? That takes a lot of brain power. That takes a lot of what? A critical thinking. Thinking outside of the box and purging. Frustration, right? Dealing with the frustrations early on before dealing with them at the end. Because one way or another, you will come by frustration. It will never surpass you. You're not special. Right? It's that type of energy here. And I feel like this energy is very zesty and very direct and very no sugarcoat and taking no shit, because the divine, God, Most High, whoever you believe in, is not playing with these lessons. A lot of us, including myself, we've been looking in the back of these pages why we should have been learning them fucking formulas for this fucking test. For this test coming up on Wednesday. On Wednesday. On how to solve for fucking X. Right? And you have to understand, man. Sometimes learning how to solve for X might require you trial and error. Trial and error. Utilize it in different ways, because that's what I'm saying. That's why math is so beautiful, because there's different ways to get the same answer. There's different ways to get the same exact answer in 4, 5 different ways. But it's your job at the beginning of learning your information, learning how to apply that and find the answer and get the answer in 4 or 5 different ways. But the thing is, it requires a level of strength. It requires a level of courage to go into the dark, to discover those places of yourself, to figure out how to solve for X. X is your life. X is your 5.0 version of yourself. To unlock and solve for X, you have to apply in trial and error and figure out those 4, 5, 6, how many different ways to solve for X. Solve for X. The first couple times, you're going to fall on your ass. You have to be okay with that. A lot of us in the world wonder why we're miserable in our fucking lives, because we play it safe and scared to take a risk and fall on our ass. And I used to be a person like that, scared of rejection, scared to fall, scared to lose. And those emotions still come up. But guess what? Those emotions don't justify the move forward. You still got to move forward. It's still coming up on your doorstep. You still got to figure out how to deal with it. That's a life of someone who takes full accountability. That's a life of someone who is willing to do what it takes to be the best version of myself. And sometimes to be the best version of yourself, it requires you to take a couple steps back, son, dog, sis, twin. This is that type of energy here. We got to stop overdoing what's the word I'm looking for? It's perfectionist. Is that the word I'm looking for? But there's the perfectionism. I think it's perfectionism. That word, right? You got to stop that, man. That's what's stopping and holding you back on your journey. And this goes for me too. Shit, I'm talking to myself. The fuck? I was really challenged with this type of energy last week. But being very transparent and very proud of myself, even when I felt like a failure, or I felt low, or I felt like not as a whole, I still could see the light of myself within that space. I allowed myself to learn that lesson and feel myself in that space and really talk to myself. Like I always talk about, we return back to the park bench. right? Where you and God commune and we talk about what we need to talk about, right? When we review the answers, we review the material, and then we go out back into the world and apply what we learn, right? This is that type of energy. When you go through doubt, when you go through suffering, when you go through hardship, when you go through feeling down, when you go through not feeling good enough, when you go through adversity where it looks like you can't see your way out, where it seems like it's drowning you out, you can apply this in any way, shape, or form. Going through depression, going through anything that you're going through, right? You always have to return back to the park bench to ask yourself and to commune with yourself, right? Higher self, God, whoever you believe in, to commune and take notes and really bounce ideas together, to take what you've learned in that space, that incubation space. Because when you're in that incubation space, you're being filled with knowledge that doesn't feel good. It doesn't feel good to be vulnerable. It doesn't feel good to feel asked out or to feel like things are not going well for you, to feel like things are going backwards. You are losing yourself, or your shit, life's not looking good. Whatever your situation is, I don't know. You know your life, right? It's that energy. You sit within that furnace and allow God to burn that crud off of you. The moment that those doors open, you're going to be a whole different version of yourself. That's when you shine, right? Because we know diamonds are created out of pressure, right? They're made out of pressure, right? A lot of pressure makes you who you are. A lot of us cannot be scared of the dark, man. Y'all, I'm telling you, I promise you, living in the gray area is where it's at. I've been screaming this shit until my face turned fucking purple. It's not in the light. It's not in the dark. It's in the gray area. The gray area is being humble. You got me fucked up. The gray area is being angelic and on demon time. The gray area is being this lighthearted feminine, this lighthearted masculine, and being this very assertive feminine, assertive masculine. Do what is necessary to get the fucking job done, right? Get your hands dirty. Get your hands dirty. A lot of us are scared to get dirty. Like we got a fucking choice out here. Because your ass don't got a choice. Let's be honest. Let's really be honest. You either, actually you do, in somewhat. You're either going to move forward or you're going to stay stuck and your lessons going to get harder. So ask yourself, do you really got a choice to sit down when it comes to the way of finding peace, to find inner understanding? You really don't got a choice. You either going to go up or get fucking left. That's just life. That's just life. And when I talk to you guys this raw, I feel like this is a long message, but there's a lot of messages here where God needs me to say. I feel like we're getting towards the end here. But when I talk to you guys raw like that and very unfiltered and with no fucks given, right? This is the type of energy that I speak to myself on my healing journey. I'm not very flower, daisy, sugarcoat information for myself. Like, I understand hiding behind that, right? Hiding or being easy with myself will cause me to be more complacent. That will cause me to justify my actions and become more lazy. And the more that I place myself in hardship, right? Real hard truths, let's say it more like that, I've became better versions of myself through that space. So that being said, being real raw with yourself is more effective than being real nice and let you down easy, right? Because let you down easy will have you 20 years down the road asking yourself, where the fuck my life went? Haven't accomplished shit in my life. I'm still the same, looking at the same people, and you know, and the same things, and the same atmosphere, out of fear and justifying things and being complacent on myself and not really taking myself seriously, because you're deserving of that. But in a way, we never know that, right? We never truly know how deserving we are for the things that God presents to us in our lives. When God presents blessings, good, bad, or ugly, right? Even when they're difficult or not, every blessing that God has sent to you, your way, you are very worthy of. A lot of the reason why we struggle with staying on these paths and swaying a little bit is the lack of worth that God chose you to walk this path. Sometimes we don't truly understand the impact that we have on ourselves in the world when we really lock in. You never really know who you are until you really lock in with yourself. So to wrap this up here, I'm going to leave you with a question. How long will you sit around and play yourself and play yourself small and continue to get those answers from out of the back of the book and not truly understand the formula? Learn those 4 or 5 different ways how to solve for X. How long will you continue to fail your test? Continue to repeat grades again. Get held back. Got to start that over. Until you are sick and tired and wanting to ascend. When are you willing to have that moment? Are you going to allow fear to keep you from your 5.0? That's the real question. Are you going to allow fear to keep you from your 5.0? Because regardless of anything, when you die, my belief system, when you die, you're going to be showed the version that you're supposed to be. And you're going to compare notes. And if your notes are shown that you didn't take enough risk on yourself, you're going to feel regret for that. Or we all going to feel regret for that, right? It's that type of energy here. God's going to come to you and show you, this is who you're supposed to be. This is what you're supposed to accomplish. This is what's going to happen. This is what's supposed to happen. So your question is, are you willing to check those goals off your list? Within those goals, it's going to require a lot of obstacles. It's going to require a lot of getting dirty. It's going to require you to really start digging some different holes and really putting in some hard labor. The question is, are you willing to put some hard labor in for the best version of you? Okay. Okay. Long reading, y'all, but really God needed that out. Okay. It really came to me on my spirit here. And for those that listen and for those who that's for, walk in the dark and continue to walk in the dark, because you'll understand the dark more when you experience. You gain more knowledge through experience, okay? So if you guys feel guided or interested in purchasing your reading, you know where to find me. I'd love to hear from you guys. Let's get that set up so we can get you popping. Come heal with me, right? As well as going to share these vids and like these vids here so we can get this information to those that need it, so we all can get on one accord, okay? I want y'all to take it easy. I want you guys to start asking yourself some hard questions, those $1 million questions, those questions there. Those are those life questions that you got to ask yourself to decide which lane you gonna switch in. Okay, because you can't make things impulsively, right? It's really asking and evaluating your inventory before making a move to make a lane switch. Okay, all right. I'm gonna leave it there. I gotta close the channel because there's too much coming out. But I want y'all to take it easy, stay up, and bye bye.